Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a book review. Yeah, I might be all over the place. I'm having a really strange day. I've tried to record this video 3 times now. You may hear noise in the background because there's an industrial park just behind me. I live near a canal and we've been having thunderstorms every day this week, and we were having thunder and lightning last night and heavy rain, and a tree fell down into the back of the industrial park, so I think they're kind of moving around or whatever they're doing out there. And yeah, I'm in a weird position in my lounge because my son's asleep over there on the sofa and my lounge is a mess at the moment, but I wanted to do this video, so I'm in a weird background. And yeah, I look kind of a mess. My hair is a mess. We're just not going to talk about it. And I'm aware that I'm wearing a Halloween top, skeleton top and Pokemon pyjama pants, so we're just going to ignore all of these factors and get into the video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, and I really enjoyed this book. I have loved her other books I've read. I've also read In a Dark Woods and The Woman in Cabin 10, both which I loved. I read The Woman in Cabin 10 recently. I know I have a review up. And yeah, this one was one of her most highly rated videos. And hang on. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to pause the video again. I'm not sure where I left off, where I was last talking. My husband's walking back and forth. Anyway, yes, I'm talking about Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Yes, I really enjoyed this book. So it follows a woman called Rowan, and she applies for a job to be a live-in nanny in this really fancy house. And she's previously worked in like a children's nursery type of setting, but her best friend's kind of moved out and is going travelling, and she misses her, and she's just looking for change of scenery, something different, so she applies for this job. And it's in Scotland. It's kind of in this rural location. There's not a lot around this big house, and it's an old house, but it's been done up. It's been renovated. I can't say that word, but it's been done up and it's really fancy. And the people who live there, the husband and the wife, they're both like home designers and like architects and stuff. They work for like they have their own design company, and the house has old elements. It's an old house, like I said, but they've installed like this crazy control panel throughout the house. And basically everything in the house is electronically controlled. So there's cameras in every room, there's microphones, telephones. They have one of those fridges where you can talk to the fridge and it orders food for you. The lights, the curtains, everything's controlled through everything's controlled electronically and through these panels on the wall. So she finds that a bit strange, and you know, it's difficult for her to get a hold of. She's not quite sure kind of what's going on with all of that. But also there's rumours around this house. It's a very old house, and obviously has a history of things happening in this house, as old houses tend to have. Mixed in with the children she's looking after. There's something about the children that one of them, there's three girls. One girl is off in college or boarding school, and she comes back and forth throughout the book. And there's 2 younger girls and a baby, so there's actually 4 girls. Like I said, this video is going to be all over the place because I haven't planned what I'm going to say. I'm just going to talk about it. But yeah, so she's looking after a lot of children. It's a lot for one person, and the parents of these children seem quite nice. Well, the mother seems nice. The father, she's not so sure about. He has a bit of a creepy vibe going on about him. And she's also not a instinctively maternal person, as you would think a nanny would be. So it makes for a very interesting read. It's about her struggles, basically trying to juggle these children, because the parents of these kids, they kind of throw her in at the deep end, and literally she's accepted for the job. You find that early on in the book. It's not really a spoiler, but she's accepted to work for this family, and then the parents have to go away for this conference and meetings and stuff for a week, and they kind of dump the children on her, which is very short notice. So she doesn't really have time to get to know the ways about the house. She's just left this huge manual to read through that the mum leaves her about the girls' day-to-day routine and how she's to look after them. And obviously there's cameras in every room which the parents can access on their phone. which is very intrusive, even in her bedroom. And it makes for a very intense read. It's like a thriller slash paranormal, because like I said, there's things in this house that kind of, there are rumours going around this house, so it has a history. And you know, the girls are like, one of the youngest, not the youngest, but one of the girls, she kind of says creepy things about ghosts in the house. But the thing I really liked about this book is the way that it's written, and it's written in the form of letters. So again, this is not a spoiler, you find this out even in the synopsis of the book. But you find out at the very, very beginning of the book, one of the children dies and she's getting blamed for it. Rowan, the nanny, is getting blamed for the death. And she's insisting that she did not kill this little girl and that it's not her fault. And this whole book is written as a letter to a lawyer. So it's Rowan trying to convince a lawyer to come and represent her because everybody thinks she's guilty. And she thinks the way that she can persuade this lawyer to come and represent her is to write to the lawyer and explain and tell him her story, because she says people aren't letting her explain what's happening and she feels like she has to tell the entire story to make people understand. But you quickly, it's written, like the first few chapters are written as short letters, and then the last letter is kind of a very long letter which is explaining the story, and you actually forget that it is written as a letter. It's very, very well written. I really like it. It's basically just Rowan telling us, the readers, her story, but actually writing to her lawyer. It's very, very well done. I really, really enjoyed it. I know it's one of her highest rated books, and she has a few more. I think she has The Lying Game, and there's another one she has, I don't know if they're in this one, The Death of Mrs. Westaway and The Lying Game, which I'm going to be getting definitely after finishing this one. I'm loving it so much, I'm definitely getting the rest of her books to review. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. If you liked her other books, you're definitely going to like this one. Like I said, I like this one the best out of the ones I've read so far, and that seems to be the case with a lot of reviews that I've read. People seem to like this one the best. I just really, really liked it. It had things that you weren't really expecting. Some stuff was predictable, but it was done in a really good way, and some stuff I really didn't see coming. So yeah, I would describe this as definitely a thriller. Yeah, it's just really well written. The characters are interesting. You want to know more about them. You kind of, she comes across as a little bit, or to me, she comes across as a little bit of an abrasive character. Like I said, she's not hugely motherly and maternal. She's not a maternal person for someone who's going to work as a nanny. And in some cases, you know, it's very amusing, some of her reactions to stuff. But you can see a lot from her point of view. Like, a lot of things, you know, can be quite frustrating for her. I don't really want to say too much else because I don't want to give anything away. I feel like if I talk too much about it, I am going to give too much stuff away. But yeah, it basically says on the back here, what she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, one that will end in a child death and her in a cell waiting trial for murder. She knows she made mistakes, but maintains that she is not guilty. So yeah, it makes for a really, really good read. I highly recommend it. If you've liked her other books, you'll definitely like this. And if you like thrillers in general, I think you would like this. So yeah, if you've read this and have some comments or any questions about it, then please leave it down below. I know, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm kind of all over the place at the moment, but I really wanted to get this filmed because yeah, I really enjoyed that book. I also finished reading, because I said I was going to talk about a couple of other books. I recently read The Revenants by Michael Punk. And yeah, I read this after watching the film. So the film The Revenant is currently on Netflix. I do recommend going to watch it. And I enjoyed the film so much that I went and bought the book and thought, yeah, that I would have a read and see how it compares to the film. For the most part, it's pretty close to the film. There are some things that are definitely different. So basically this story follows a man called Hugh Glass, and he's travelling with a bunch of other men in the wilderness in America, and they are with this like fur tracking company, and the basis of the story is he gets mauled by a bear, and it's his kind of survival slash revenge story. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of history in this book. It's based on a true story. I think I preferred the film, which is actually rare for me. Normally I always prefer the book, but I think yeah, it was, I'm not normally into this kind of story, but because I enjoyed the film so much I wanted to read the book, and I do recommend reading the book as well. But yeah, it's very into like American history of the times, you know, kind of the struggles between like Native Americans and, you know, people going through their land and that kind of thing, and battles between them, and it kind of goes into, yeah, like survival stuff, and it talks a lot about guns and the fur trading business, which, you know, I did like kind of speed read through those parts because I found them a little bit dull. And there are differences, like in the film he kind of gets revenge. Obviously he's getting revenge, he gets mauled by a bear, and then the people he's with, they're like, well, we can't like stay here to look after you. They think he's gonna die, and so they carry on their journey, and they leave 2 men behind to kind of wait for him to die and then bury him. But they don't, they just steal his stuff and leave him. So that's where the survival story comes into it. And in the film he has a son whom gets killed, so the revenge seems more like urgent, because the 2 men, well, one of the men kills his son and he wants to go after them for that, whereas his son's not in the book. He doesn't have a son in this story, so I'm guessing they put it in the film for more dramatic effect. I also much preferred the ending. I found the ending of the film way more satisfying than the ending of the book. The book, I just don't feel like he got sufficient revenge. I don't want to say too much more on that in case you want to watch the film, but I do highly recommend the film. The film was very good. The book was also okay, just not as action packed as the film, which I guess, you know, they obviously put more action in to make the film more interesting to watch. But I feel like if you're into these kinds of stories of survival and stories of those kinds of times, I don't know when this story's set. Chapter 1, August 1826. Yeah, so like 18th century. So if you're into stories of that time, then I think you would like this. I did like it for the most part. I don't regret reading it. Yeah, just not one of my favourites this year, but I am glad I read it because I did enjoy the film. And I'm also currently reading, me and my husband have decided to start rewatching all of the Game of Thrones TV series, and I've had the books for a really long time, and I've only read the first one, and I really want to read through the entire series just to see the differences and to get more in-depth in the story. I kind of started googling the differences between the characters in the book and the characters in the film, and I just want to know, yeah, more about the book characters. So far I am 320 pages into book 2, which is The Clash of Kings, and so far it's pretty close to the TV series season 2. Obviously I have a lot to go. I think it's like 911 pages long, this book, so yeah, and like I said, I'm only 300 pages in so far, but so far I'm really enjoying it. It's not as difficult as what I remember, as what I've heard it was. People keep saying it's a very heavy book to read, but I find it easy in the sense to follow that each chapter follows a different character. So each chapter is named, so we have like John here, and then the next one will be Arya, or this one's Davos. So I find that easy in the sense that when you get to each chapter you know kind of who the story is about, and because I've seen the TV series you can kind of put them together, kind of a thing. Yeah, so far really enjoying it. It's going to take me a while to get through. I have all the other books to get through as well. But yeah, so far so good. I might do some comparison videos. Maybe as I finish each book I'll compare it to the season. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I feel like I said this video has kind of been all over the place. I'm really sorry, but I kind of felt like filming as my son is asleep, and he rarely naps in the day now. he is 2 and he just, yeah, is full of energy all of the time, so I don't get a lot of chances to film videos. And also, like, obviously my husband is working from home at the moment because of COVID, so yeah, I don't get a lot of time to myself to do videos. So I thought, as my husband's in the shower and my son is sleeping, I will quickly try and get one done. Even if I did ramble all over the place, I apologise. I want to do some like different videos. I know I've mentioned this before, but I kind of want to make more content on this channel. I've been thinking about doing reading vlogs, but I don't know if anyone would be interested in that. I kind of want to do series where like I do like reading challenges, so maybe I'll spend a week reading different horror books, or a week reading, I don't know, different paranormal books or different thrillers, and posting content on what I thought, my experience in that. Again, I don't know if anyone's interested, but I like watching videos like that, so I'm thinking about doing that, but I'm just not sure how I'm going to film it. We'll see. I'm slowly getting into editing videos. I don't really have great software for that. I have an extremely old laptop, which is partially broken, and yeah, like no editing software, so I'm trying to yeah, just up my channel game a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys found this interesting. Like I said, I highly recommend Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I really enjoyed it. Definitely worth a go. Like I said, I heard a lot of other booktubers talk about it and they enjoyed it too. It was just very well written. I find her books very easy to read. Like some thrillers, but I guess they're more detective thrillers, which I used to love, but now I'm kind of moving away from those kind of thrillers, and I prefer stuff like this where it's told from, you know, like just a normal person's perspective rather than a detective or something. But yeah, I just really like her writing. I find her stories very easy to get through. They're not huge. I can normally finish her books in 1 to 2 days, because she just writes characters really well. I just find her stories interesting. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. And yeah, if anyone has actually managed to make it to the end of this video, then thank you. I know I was all over the place. I need to, you know, get more into this whole YouTube thing of reviewing books, because I want to grow my channel. And yeah, just talk and maybe do a few more things. And yeah, more bookish content as well as other content. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm going to stop rambling, like I've said 1,000 times at this point. So yeah, sorry for the craziness in this video. Until next time, bye guys.